Hello New Zealand, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, we kick off today's video with the focus on the tropics. We've got 3 areas of concern to watch, and these could turn into cyclones based on this map by the Fiji Met Service, but we do think they are likely to merge into one big low by the end of this week. And I've got to say, before we get into this video, if you need rain, you may find this quite frustrating. There is a lot of rain just north of us, but not quite sure how much of it's going to actually make it to land. So this is how it looks as of Tuesday. The Fiji Met Service got 3 areas of concern north of New Zealand, and these areas in the pale pink, that's just a 5 to 20% chance of a storm. This is actually the main low pressure system north of New Zealand. This one will fade away quickly, and this is the main one of the 3, which is likely to absorb this area of risk in the next few days. So let me just try and make a little bit more sense of that. Here's the animated wind map. So you can see that's that big main risk area. So that one could turn into a cyclone in the coming days. This is the small one that will fade away, and this is the secondary one following where Neil was at the weekend. Neil's gone, already down here. This one is not dropping straight south though. It's not straightforward. The reason why this area is complicated is because it's all going around each other, and this low here is being pulled into this one, and these will all merge and make a big area of low pressure to our north. Meanwhile, in the New Zealand area, high pressure continues. Now, this is not a very big high, but it's just enough to keep them away. Cyclones and tropical lows, they like the path of least resistance. In other words, like water going down a valley, they don't want to run into a hill. And this is basically a hill. High pressure is higher up, those rain clouds don't like them. So it's a bit of a messy system. Now, this is what the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, the US government, is saying are the main areas of concern north of New Zealand and northwest of New Zealand. This one is being pulled towards this one, and they're likely to dance around like this, with New Caledonia, Fiji and Vanuatu in their sights for the next, maybe in the next couple of weeks. It may not be a storm though, it might just be a big large area of low pressure. So by Wednesday at lunchtime, you can see the 3 areas of low pressure. These 2 are already starting to merge. This one's getting deeper and may actually become a tropical cyclone for a time. High pressure around the North Island keeps it settled and calm there. Calm around Nelson, dry unfortunately as well. You've got basically no rain coming in Nelson for the next several days, and a bit of a northwest change or develops down in the south of the country. Now that's ahead of a colder change that arrives on Thursday. You can see that there. The temperatures drop by maybe up to 8, 9, 10 degrees in some areas on where you were on Wednesday, but it's still very warm further north, highs around 30 degrees inland, and it's a warm day settled, and the 2 lows up there are still merging with each other. Let's go to Friday, and you can see what I mean. This low that was over here being pulled westward, lying over New Caledonia, bringing rain and a bit of wind for them. Meanwhile, this could be a cyclone affecting Vanuatu. So these 2 are complicated. There's a lot of rain for Fiji and rain and showers coming in for Samoa and Tonga. But for New Zealand, it is very close, but not close enough. We've got a couple of showers around. I wouldn't get too excited about that. The pale blue means it'll be less than probably a millimetre or 2, so not much coming in for you. Let's go through the rainfall over the next few days, because a lot of people are asking about this. So you can see up until Friday, this is from today till Friday, heavy rain on the west coast. Gets lighter and lighter as you go up to the main centres. In the North Island, the blue, right at the bottom of the scale, it might just be 0.1 millimetres, so don't get excited. It might just be a little bit of drizzle, as we've just seen around over the last couple of days. Let's get into the weekend, and not a lot of change. We were talking about this rain coming down yesterday. Now it doesn't look so likely, and we've always been saying there's a very fine line because of that high and that low, and the rain clouds basically start or stop in the top of the New Zealand area. So frustrating on Saturday, a couple of showers around on the eastern side, and it's much cooler in the South Island's coastal areas on Saturday. Another cooler change sweeps through for you. By Sunday, maybe the rain does come back into Northland from this tropical system. It is frustratingly close. We're talking some really big rainfall totals out at sea. This may now be a tropical cyclone as well, up around New Caledonia, but around the New Zealand area, a big block of high pressure. So between that and the low, a lot of easterlies are in charge. And we end on Monday where that low starts to drift down, maybe a little bit closer towards us. But I've also seen other maps that show this high in the New Zealand area pushing back. So you could be seeing rainfall totals out at sea of 300, 400 millimetres, but on land, maybe 0 to 5 to 10 millimetres. So this is not a good setup. A lot of farmers, a lot of growers are needing rain. This is very close. I'm an optimistic person. I kind of believe if all this rain is sitting here, at some point it's got to come down, but it might be a longer process than you expect. So I just wanted to give you that heads up. No rain in the immediate future for most of those dry areas. And on that note, I have to end the video, but hopefully tomorrow we've got something a little more positive. For those who love summer though, this might be a really nice forecast. One last thing before I go. With this system up to the north, some big swells are going to be coming in this weekend. Take extreme care if you're going to the beach, because the weather on land might be beautiful and sunny, but out at sea we've got this big storm. So big swells can be very dangerous for rips, currents and that kind of stuff. So take care this weekend around our beaches. That is all from me. We'll see you again on Wednesday.